I've gone through a bunch of phases with Coachella. I mean, I've been doing that coming up on 7 years now, I think. And yeah, I started working with Ari at Coachella probably like 4 or 5 years ago now. It's been a while. Yeah. And so, I mean, Ari brought me in last year to, help with some of the social content again. We usually do it every year. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much up to us to shoot it and to do everything on it, and to ideate and to shoot and to finish it.
Right. And it's also, the demand is like, if it's weekend one. So for example, let's just talk about the Ferris wheel project first. So with that project, have you already planned on doing something like that with the Ferris wheel, or was it just seeing some drone footage that you guys captured while, cause it's usually, who's the drone company that flies for Coachella? It's Owl something, I think.
White Owl area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that their footage that you were using?
Yeah, I mean, we went out there and shot it with them. So, I mean, Ari was right there, cool. Directing behind the monitor.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much Ari's idea he wanted to do something cool with the Ferris wheel. A couple of years ago, we did something, we did another shot with the Ferris wheel, but it was like a little more basic, just like After Effects stuff. But this year we wanted to or last year we wanted to take it up a notch, and do some like CG stuff. And so, instead of focusing on like a volume of shots, because usually we pump out like quite a lot, it was like, all right, we're just going to do like these 2 shots and we're going to make them like really involved and, right. and really good. Yeah.
So throughout the rest of the weekend, like those are your 2 primary objectives. And were you doing other content at all, or no?
Was I doing what?
Were you guys doing other content besides those 2 pieces, or was that like your main priority, were those 2 like specialty shots?
Yeah, Ari and were doing other stuff on the side, but I was focusing on those 2 shots,
right?
Mostly, just because the CG for that was like really involved.
Yeah. So was it just you doing the CG?
What's that?
Was it just you doing the CG, or how was your team?
Yeah. Well, we prepped a little bit beforehand because we knew what we were going to do, at least with the Ferris wheel. So we found a Ferris wheel asset that already existed online, just like a generic Ferris wheel. And then we prepped it to look more like the Coachella Ferris wheel. And one of the guys I work with worked on prepping that a little bit before. And then, then by the time we got on site, we shot the plate with the aerial footage, and then got to work. Basically had to in a couple of days, rig up this Ferris wheel to animate in a crazy way, and then, light it and, texture it and all that.
Jesus Christ. So, okay. Yeah. So goddamn. So the shot from the drone, there's there's no Ferris wheel in that plate.
There was a Ferris wheel, but we painted it out completely.
So you don't even use
and we replaced it with a fully CG Ferris wheel.
Holy shit. So when you say that your homie found the basic one, is that like pardon me for not having all the knowledge in the world on this type of shit, but what is that, just what's the fucking thing called where you get, people can download cars and shit that people have created that are 3D or 4D modeling of cars?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a 3D model.
It's a 3D model of a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, word. So you have that, so you kind of have the idea, and you guys do this thing where you make it kind of bend and flex, right? So you're able to manipulate the model to have that motion and the movement, but then the hard part for you placing it, making it feel real in the world? To
a certain degree. I mean, yeah, I mean, so part of that is shooting, we shot 360 environment maps and HDRIs because you can use that information to light the CG object so it looks like it fits in the scene.
Right.
So we shot some of that when we were on site at the same time of day. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just about adding shadows and getting the textures right. And, yeah, I mean, the difficult part was the rendering, because, it does take a while to render. Mm-hmm. So we set up this crazy workflow where I was remoting back into my office and because at the office we have like a render farm.
Right.
So, we would send files to the office and have them render and then like download back to on-site at Coachella.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So like that way we could get stuff out like the same day and it would render fast.
Right. And you're on the festival grounds, like doing the editing? Like in a trailer?
We're like in this trailer behind like main stage.
Right.
It's like super loud. The sub is always like booming.
Yeah,
We're just like
trying to
editing back there.
See if the vibrations are from the entire trailer moving or if that's in the shot. Is it?
Yeah, right.
When you track and kind of create that getting all the information for the shadows, are you just doing? Is that like taking the drone and bopping around the world, like at the actual festival grounds to get that information, or how do you guys collect that?
No, it's just, are you talking about like the 360 maps or, oh, okay. Yeah. So that was just in one place. I mean, we shot it, we used a GoPro Fusion that shoots 360,
right?
And we just shot like bracketed exposures. So you can create an HDRI in Photoshop. And we just shot that at where the Ferris wheel was,
cool.
Just so we could get what the lighting looked like in that place.
So did the GoPro did you have to like have that elevated higher or in a specific position, or did it really matter where it was placed?
No, I mean, it would have been great if we could elevate it, but we just put it on the ground.
Right.
Because really we're just doing it for like the lighting information, like where the sun is coming from and stuff like that.
Right.
Because then in 3D, you got to like go and place lights and make sure like the direction is, where the sun is coming from so that the shadows cast correctly and all that.
So how long did it take you total to work on that one specific video? And I'm assuming that you guys were simultaneously working on both. Were you?
I think it was like weekend 1, we did the Ferris wheel, and weekend 2, we did the other one.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, it took pretty much all of weekend 1, like 15-hour days to do it.
But you had it done by like the end of the weekend?
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I think the Ferris wheel one was done by the end of weekend 1. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So what?
Yeah, it was insane turnaround. Like that would usually take like weeks. Like
right. Well, I'm surprised that you were able to send the content back to your office versus having to like lug out all of your gear to be able to process the info on site, which is convenient, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit beforehand, just to set up the workflow.
Right.
I mean, their internet had to be like somewhat decent in order to do that, which we were kind of lucked out with.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's no way we could have rendered it on one computer on site. So
as you finish the first one, next weekend you're going in and you're doing the art installation hovering idea. So had you guys already planned for that? Like you already specifically knew that's what you were going to do, or were you guys kind of scheming that up after you finished project 1, you're going into project 2?
I think the whole time we were kind of talking about it. I know Ari wanted to do something involving art pieces. So at some point we just decided that like that art piece would probably be the easiest one to do that with. And it was like pretty simple and geometric, so it was easy to model out in 3D. So it was basically the same type of deal. We paint out the real one and add the fake one on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus. So what was the reaction to, I mean, I feel like no festival has done anything like this as far as like social media content to pair with the weekend's hype. You know what I mean? Like how do you feel like the reaction was there, and what was like Coachella's reaction to the content too when it was finally delivered?
I mean, they're stoked on it. They're always stoked on the stuff we do. It always like blows their minds. But these ones in particular, I think they were like the most viewed posts that they've ever posted.
Holy shit.
And I don't know why, but
because they're amazing. Because they're so dope.
Yeah, it's like the Beyonce post and then like ours.
Right. That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, they were really stoked on it, and they were stoked on how it performed. I mean, we were in the middle of actually working on another thing for them this year, but obviously,
RIP. That's I feel like you guys. Do you feel like sometimes you guys set such a high bar that it may make the process of next year even harder? Like, or is
that's what I think every year, and then like somehow we one up it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Does that drive you guys? Is being able to set the bar so high? I mean, it's what's cool about that is you've secured positions for yourselves, because it's like very little people can come back and try to do something like that at that level. You know what I mean? Like you guys have just created your own lane for creativity, especially in that market.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there are other creators out there creating cool stuff too. I mean, they've like shifted to the strategy where they just hire a bunch of like social media creators to do all of their like content essentially, which is kind of cool.
Thanks for listening to this clip. Make sure to listen to the full interview, which is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Hit the subscribe button for more highlights and join our Black with No Cream private community for creators. Links in the description.